Well, Arizona residents, they can maybe get a wetter than average monsoon. We're crossing our fingers, and that can get things a little squirrely out on the roads.
You bet. Anytime we get rain, dust, wind, it can make for tricky driving conditions.
Yes. Sometimes Arizonans don't know how to drive in the sun. So then you add some rain, Scott Johnson, and things get a little wild. You're joining us from Avondale Toyota, the service manager. I would imagine that when we had that early June rain, you guys were busy, lots of folks changing the windshield wipers.
Correct. And I'm actually the shop foreman of the dealership.
Okay.
But yes, we change wipers. They're one of the most neglected parts of a car.
Okay.
We wash our cars, but we never take the time to inspect them. So even if you go through a car wash, you get the soap on there, it could cause the windshield wipers to stick once it dries. So the first time you use it, you swipe it, they rip off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's always too late. You're always driving on the road, you hit them, they fall apart, and you cannot see where you're going.
Or they're so crusty that they're literally like just smearing the water across.
Correct. And then some people just will rip them off to try to get you by. But
just a little tiny piece.
Yeah. But it still smears.
Is there a noise to listen to? Because before I changed mine, it was kind of going in like a scraping, thudding noise that kind of went across. Is that a sign that they need to be changed?
Correct. So that's when they get hard. They're not pliable no more, because ideally you want to ride on the edge of the blade. And once they get hard, they tend to lean over, and you're riding on a flat surface, and that's when it could skip across the windshield, and with the dirt, cause it not to be smooth.
Okay, got it. And how often should we be changing these, just for our reference?
I would say in Arizona, we're probably looking at once to twice a year due to our heat. We don't use them a lot in the summer, and that's when they get hard, they bake, and they stick to the windshields.
And you were saying do it now before we actually get ourselves into a storm.
Correct. We're part of road trip readiness. Besides maintaining your vehicle and oil changes would be the wipers.
It is hilarious. You drive by an auto parts store right as the rain is happening, and you just see it spilling. All the empty packages from the windshield wipers spilling out of there. Let's talk about tires. Very easy to kind of get out of control in the rain. Hydroplaning, what are some key things we need to keep in mind for this season?
So as far as tires go, I have a little display here.
And you know what, hold that up, and then our folks at home, our director can kind of zoom into that. So tell us, Scott, what we're looking at here.
So the thicker the tread, the better chance the water or debris or mud can escape from the tread of the tires. So keep a good rubber contact to the road. When you get to the smooth area, the water can't escape, and that's when it can cause the tires to get picked up on top of the water and cause the hydroplaning, and you can't keep control of your vehicle.
It's almost like two pieces of glass with a little bit of water in between, like they kind of slide around.
Yes, if the proper tread helps the water escape from the contact of the road surface, and it keeps you under control of your vehicle.
Not to mention a bald tire is not great in this heat either.
No, with our heat and wear and tear, it's important to keep track of your tires.
You can peel out pretty easily, but that's, you know, unless you're 16 or, you
That's
know.
usually what causes it.
That's usually what causes it. I know the monsoon is, you know, rain focus, but part of that equation is the heat. Can we talk about batteries for a second? Because I think the last thing most people want to do is be stuck on the side of a freeway and it's 116 degrees. In some cases, that could even be dangerous. What's something we need to keep in mind with the heat?
Just with the heat, batteries, you're lucky to get 2 years out of a battery. So if you do purchase a battery, you want to make sure you get one with a good warranty, because more than likely you're going to be using it. You want to keep an eye on it, make sure there's no excessive corrosion built on it, which would cause high resistance probably, and have starting issues. It's just one of the maintenance items you get when you do a oil change on a regular maintenance, especially at the dealerships. We check the batteries, make sure the health is good, and inform customers if they need a battery.
So you can kind of see the lifespan of it, like halfway through. Like if you were at your shop at Avondale Toyota, you could say, hey, can you tell someone how much they have left on a battery? We
can't give a time frame, because you never know. Battery could pass one day and fail the next in Arizona. But as the readings show us, the cold cranking amp readings, we can get an idea of, okay, this one's starting to get weak. Because there's a rating on the battery, and if it's below that rating, then the battery's starting to get weak and it's going to fail. And
so let me follow up with that and ask, as drivers, is there a sign that we should be looking for as far as the battery is concerned, or is that just something that you guys have to test for?
As a good driver, you know what your vehicle sounds like.
Okay.
And when you start in the morning, if it sounds to be a little bit more sluggish or taking a little longer to fire up, get it checked out, don't wait.
Are you talking about me or the car?
Maybe both.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get out of bed, I understand.
Yes, exactly. A little bit of coffee.
Let's also talk about driving over water, and especially in areas where normally it's dry, and then you know, it serves as a wash during, you know, heavy monsoon rains. The debris, all those kinds of things are really hazardous for our cars.
Correct. When you have flowing water or standing water, you don't know what's happening underneath it. Before you got there, was it a big rush of water? It could have damaged the road or put debris, rocks on the road. They're covered up, and your car hits it, damage an oil pan or something, bend a wheel, and then you could be stuck not only inside the road, but inside of a mud puddle.
And how much water does it take to really, you know, break down your car? I mean, are we talking feet, you know, inches?
Inches can affect the way your car drives.
Got it.
Talking about, like we talked about the tire tread depth, your car can float in probably 3/4 inch of water. It just gets on top, and it's just like a water ski, and it just goes. It's just one of the things to be aware of. If it says flooded, don't cross it.
That's right.
Another thing with the first rain of the year, you want to be extra careful, because that's when all the oils come out of the roadway that the car's been leaking on for all summer.
Yeah.
The water lifts them up, causes the road to be extra slippery. If you're a motorcyclist, you want to be careful where you place your feet. It could be extra oily right during the first rain.
Okay.
Good information.
Great tips.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem.
Now we just need some rain.
Hopefully it's coming.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Scott, thank you so much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for